Hi, today it was part of our Business Spotlight program. I'm with Laura, and she's the owner and brand designer of Accor Brand Design. So over to you, Laura. What is it you do, and for how long have you been doing it?
Hi, thank you, Kevin, for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here. So I am a brand designer, and I focus on logos and creating branding for companies in health and wellness industry. I've been doing this for about 2 years now.
Mhm.
My journey in graphic design started actually in 2019. I started to study here in Dublin at the Dublin Institute of Design. And after I graduated the following year, I started to do freelancing for my friends and then started to build up from there to small companies. And I started with small projects like logos, stationery design like business cards or letterheads, going to flyers and brochures or posters or whatever the client needed.
Yeah,
And I also, in the meantime, I enrolled to a community called Yes, I'm a Designer. It's a graphic designers community
great.
that helped me with briefs and clients. Like I learned so much doing that over that period, like was a year or a year and a half.
Mhm.
And when COVID hit, I was still having my full-time job as a front desk receptionist at that time. I realized that I wanted to do a change, and I realized that what I was doing as a part-time wanted to become a full-time, and that's when was the first time I had this idea to open my own company. But of course, like it took me a while to decide that because I was, scared. It was out of my comfort zone. I didn't have any sales background whatsoever, and I was just how I'm going to pull this off by myself. But then I just said I realized that I want to do what I love and also help people
Mhm.
by doing that. And I took the decision, and so far it's been terrifying and exciting in the same time.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy and I'm glad that I took it because it's a new world for me, and I'm just happy to be in this moment and learn every day, step by step, to grow further.
Fantastic, fantastic, Laura. Yeah, and so who would you say is your best customer or type of customers?
My ideal client will be a female, let's say 35 years old, owning a yoga studio, um, having different kind of activities like going to nature or sport in general. Like I'm looking very much at hobbies to see what kind of uh, activities they do in their free time to kind of attract the client and make them feel that they are understood and I know what they are looking for. And usually it's more like an holistic approach, kind of connection with nature, doing different type of alternatives that we don't find, or not that we don't find, maybe they're not as common used as before. Now with COVID, people are trying to find more this sense of belonging and
Mm.
connection.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to focus, like finding these clients that try to convey this message and try to be authentic and be themselves basically, and try to engage with the customers in a more real way, in a way that they feel connected and they feel they are seen and understood.
Fantastic. That's absolutely brilliant. Well, you kind of answered my next question, where we were saying, were there any business changes you considered that COVID-19 made a necessity? But you actually had the courage to open a business during the middle of that.
Yes, that was actually I think it was the biggest and it still is the biggest challenge, but for me was to realizing that stepping out of my comfort zone, it's actually not a bad thing. And that's where I learned the most. And all the thoughts and everything was based on fear that wasn't real. It was only in my head. And once I stepped in and I start doing the work and I showed up for myself every single day, which I still do, I can see the results, and I cannot stop now because I've seen where I'm coming from and I've seen this huge journey and the opportunities that you have, I realized that this is the only way. If for me it means to be out of my comfort zone, definitely that's the way to approach that. So definitely.
That's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and again, I suppose the one of the acronyms I suppose I like of FEAR is um, stands for false expectations appearing real. And
Yes.
you're epitomizing it there, which is fantastic. And of the actions you've taken, started your business and all that during COVID. Did COVID have an impact on how you're doing your business? And will that remain part of your business going forward?
I think COVID helped a lot with my business going more, expanding my clients network, because I used to have clients more from Ireland and Romania. That's where I'm from. But with COVID and everything, I think people kind of started to feel more confident with all these Zoom meetings. And I started getting clients over United States, for example, or Greece or Spain, or like all over the world. And for me, I think that's a huge opportunity, because there are clients that I will never meet in real life, like hardly. And to have these Zoom meetings, for me, it's easier. Like I could be anywhere. They don't care if I'm in Ireland or wherever I am. They just care about the project being done. And definitely for me, for this business, it helps. And I think I'm going to stay on this path with the Zoom meetings. Of course, if somebody wants to meet me, let's say if it's from Dublin or around Dublin, I would love to. I don't mind. But I've seen that the approach is more towards the Zoom meetings rather than face-to-face, especially for saving times, resources, and everything.
Yeah, it is definitely. Yeah, I mean, I know there's a debate going on about face-to-face meetings, and are they kind of more, I don't know what, real or something. But definitely the Zoom or Teams or Google Hangout Meets or whatever, they're more efficient. We can get more done this time. Certainly in my business, that's the way I'm going. Certainly will be staying that way. But yeah, no, brilliant. So you're a multinational business, yeah.
Yeah, that's my goal. I love working with different kinds of people and cultures. I love learning about new words, and for me it's like an inspiration to have the opportunity to connect with so many people, from home basically.
Yeah. Brilliant, Laura. And so I mean, there's we've already touched on it, but maybe and no doubt there's hundreds of learnings, but what's your biggest learning since you've been a business owner?
More like from the business side, or just from the business?
Either way, business and or personal.
Okay. Well, personal, like I said, I'm an introvert. Okay, so for me, it's very hard to put myself out there.
Okay.
So that was a big challenge to market myself, to sell myself. How I'm going to do that? How I'm going to be confident enough to attract customers. So I had to learn that, and I had to talk with people around me. I also enrolled in a academy called Aventive Academy that helped me understand a bit about the business side on graphic design, actually, on my industry, because like I said, I had no clue whatsoever. I didn't have any business background before, so I had to do something about it. So I started this course that kind of helped me understand. Basically, it showed me like a structure on how should my business look like, about contracts, because I didn't have any clue how that works. And I just wanted to make sure I have that, because that's an insurance for my company, but for the client as well, that is getting whatever they asked for. So on this journey, on this path of trying to put myself out there, I try to learn from the very best in industry. I thought that's the path that I should follow. And I still feel like I have a lot to learn, but now from where I started, I feel like I'm more confident and trying to sell myself. And so that's a huge step for me. Now, about business, what I've learned, I think the most important thing that I learned is how to connect marketing strategies. Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like I said, this is not something that I was familiar before. So I'm all about branding because that's what I do. But then, okay, I have the message, I have the visuals, I have the name, I have everything. And now what I'm doing with this, how do I reach people? So LinkedIn helped me. That's where I spend most of my time because that's where my clients are. And writing articles, doing kind of not kind of podcasts, but I'm starting with my clients, trying to record the testimonials that I will post soon.
Yeah.
Trying to reach through every touch point to the audience and make sure that I'm seen and heard and I'm in people's minds.
Excellent. 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 Well done. And are there any offers you want to include to our listeners in our newsletter?
Offers that I'm providing, yeah. Well, I can help, like I said, with logos, with stationery design, brand strategy. If somebody is looking to update their messaging, or maybe they don't have that clear yet, or about their mission and statement or values of their company, or that their name is not working anymore. They want a complete rebrand, which means changing their name or changing their whole logo and visuals. I can provide all that. No problem.
Fantastic, fantastic. And just to round up, Laura, what is most inspiring to you today?
What inspires me is connecting with people. That's where I get my energy and my good vibes. And I feel that whenever I have the opportunity to meet new people that maybe they're outside of my area, or maybe we have things in common, I feel that we can always learn from each other. And it's a great way to grow together and to connect, because nowadays, since COVID, we feel like we kind of fell apart a bit, isolating ourselves. And even though sometimes it's only through Zoom, it helps a lot not being in your own head. And connecting with people, I think, is the most important thing, because from there, when you build a relationship, you can also build greater things like helping each other, their business, or whatever problems they have. But I think at the root, we should focus on that, on building the relationship. So that inspires me.
Fantastic. Listen, it's been great talking to you today, Laura, and thanks again for taking the time.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure.